Hello, everyone. GM, welcome. Sorry for this little delay. We were having some technical issues. That's the fun part of live streams, right? You never know what can go wrong. But welcome to Product Design Bootcamp Part 2. We're back with the lovely Anna, our product designer in Chainlink Labs, and she is going to take you through another lab in Figma and recap a bit of what she told you on Wednesday, take you through some new concepts. And yeah, hope you guys are ready and have fun. And Anna, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sophia. Hi everybody. Welcome to the second workshop on the product design. And during this workshop, we will talk about it's a more advanced level after our first workshop, and we will talk about how to create design system, how to prototype and create your prototypes, how to conduct usability testing, how to conduct user interviews, and I will share lots of tips how to make it like really effective. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm sharing my screen, but first thing first, as usual, please write in the chat the number. How do you feel today? Like compare yourself with this cutie kitty. And what's your mood for today? Mine, I guess, is 8. GM. Hi. 7. Don't be 7. Sleepy. Cool. Nice. Cool, let's get started. So as I said, we will talk about how to design dApps and what's unique challenges designing dApps and also opportunities. How to create the design system. Then we will cover how to create the prototype, usability testing. I will share also some resources, some books that will help you to create successful products, and will answer all your questions at the end. Cool. Let's get started. So, designing dApps, challenges and opportunities. The first challenge, designing decentralized applications, is to the understanding concepts such as private keys, wallets, gas fees, and so much more is very complicated for the user. And they get confused by all this terminology and complexity. Imagine users, they don't have to learn about the blockchain, they don't have to learn how the transaction works. So we have to minimize as a designers all this information for them and make it simple. And how to do that? First tip is to provide educational resources and support materials. And what else we can do? We also can share with them some tutorials, FAQs, tool tips would be useful on the interface, even when you have to use some terminology. At least what we can do is to provide those tooltips that will explain the user what's going on, what does it mean. And community forums also very helpful, where users can go and ask their question. For instance, as an example, our Chainlink Developer Hub has so many resources to help users navigate through our products and generally through the blockchain, how it works, technology. We have blogs, tutorials, videos in different formats. So we have, you can read, you can watch, you can try. That's super useful for our customers to learn and make them more comfortable with the technology. The second example, how to reduce this complexity, is, for instance, MetaMask portfolio. Once you click on the bridging or any other feature, they will show you this model and they'll ask you, is it like your first time bridging? And if it's your first time bridging, they provide useful information. They provide the link to the article so you can read and learn about the bridging. Because imagine without this, and you're a first-time user and you never bridging before, you click on the button, you see the interface, and okay, without information, it's very, still the industry is new, is so much to learn. And yeah, we as a designers need to make it simple for people to navigate through the applications. The second challenge is the onboarding. Actually, it doesn't matter Web 2, Web 3, the onboarding is challenging for users because you have to learn new app anyway. Even if it's not decentralized, you have to learn new functionality. You have to create that account. In case of decentralized application, you have to manage private keys, and again, you have to manage some unfamiliar interfaces, like related to the blockchain that you've never seen before. All these challenges basically stop you from the onboarding, and the more complicated is onboarding, the less chance that the users will reach that aha moment. Aha moment is when user finally realize the value of your application. That's called the aha moment. And the sooner they reach aha moment, the better, because if they reach that aha moment fast, then most probably they will stick to your application. They will realize, that's how I can solve my problem, my issue. Got it. So that's why I need to use this application. If onboarding is too long, we have so many screens on the onboarding, it's hard to get to that aha moment, the less chance users will actually realize what's the value of your product, of your business, and just will never come back. That's the risk. And how we can resolve it? We can minimize the number of the steps required to create the account and start using your dApp. So less steps, the better. Imagine like it's the simplest rule, less screens, better. Of course, with the common sense, but less things user needs to do to achieve his goal, the better for the user and for us. And then also provide the tutorials, FAQs, tooltips, community forums, everything to make it easier, especially with the dApps, where so many different words that maybe user didn't hear before. So it's always better to have some source of the educational source in your dApp. As an example, Coinbase wallet. So I think they did a pretty cool job how users can create the wallet. That's a 3 screens process, actually even 2. So the first screen, you can see you just like animation. They are saying you to welcome to Coinbase. You open your application. That's the screen that you're looking for. And then you press the button create a new wallet. Once you press the button create a new wallet, you see this screen. They advise you to create your username, which is even not necessary. You can press maybe later here and you're opening your wallet. That's it. So they are not asking for your seed phrase. They are not asking to back up your seed phrase here. They're asking you to do that when you go to the settings. It's a little bit hidden. I will show you. It's hidden here when you press to address, and then you can modify it there. But they're not making the process complicated, so they let you enter the app quickly to see the value of the application. So they want to reach that aha moment faster with their users. And then, yeah, of course, it's very important to back up your wallet. You can do it from your settings. And plus, they have a simple mode, which is also cool because we have to consider also newbies, beginners. When we are designing decentralized application, we have to think about at least two types of users, like pro users and newbies. And if we are showing the interface for the pros to the newbies, much more likely they will run away from our application because so many features, so many words, super scary, hard to onboard. So that's cool that they have a simple mode. You turn it off, turn it on, and you see the next screen. Very simple. I even think oversimplified, but this is simplicity is cool. Next thing, they also have tutorials, articles, videos, everything that makes easier for users to onboard, to learn, make it fun, make it user-friendly, so they can understand faster how the wallet works and the transactions, etc. Another challenge is security. And security is a significant concern for users when interacting with dApps, as they often handle sensitive financial and personal information. Of course, the more assets you have, for instance, inside your wallet, the more you will be concerned about their security, and also personal information as well. And how can we reduce and help to reduce this concern? We can use multi-factor authenticator, we can use encryption, we can use secure storage of sensitive information. Also, we can educate users about best practices of securing their accounts and protecting their assets. For instance, from the design point of view, I have here multiple wallets, and this is the security part, and this is the test wallet. So never ever share your seed phrase to anyone. That's the test wallet. That's why I'm sharing my screen. Nothing there, so I don't worry, but never ever do that. But this is very sensitive information. This is about the security. Different products, they trying to highlight how important it is to save your recovery phrase. They're writing that your assets cannot be recovered. That's why you have to secure it, never share it with anyone. And that's why they're using these colors. Like, it's very cool because your eyes go in there directly. Orange color, yellow color, do not share. They're using the icons. Using icons also helps to grab that focus, grab the attention of the user. They are saying back up the seed phrase. So they want to highlight it, how important it is from the security standpoint. And also you can use the Face ID as well to protect your wallet. Also, it's cool to use illustrations like here on the screenshot. So related to the security, it's kind of like storytelling. You have the illustration, you have the header, you have the description, and that's saying how important it is to protect your wallet. Lack of familiarity, the next challenge. So learning to navigate and use dApps effectively requires time and effort, and leading to the steep learning curve for new users. As I was mentioning on the previous workshop, there is a cool book about the UX design, Don't Make Me Think. And as a title of this book, the less users think using your decentralized application, any application, actually any product, the better for you. Because people are generally, we are lazy, we have thousands of applications, not thousands, but a lot of application on our screens, on our phones. And it's like the competition is high. The more you pushing users to learn new words, new features, new user flows, the more likely they will just turn off your application. They will not use it. So the cool thing about the familiarity, the tip, use as much more familiar patterns from Web 2 as possible. So especially now when the industry still is new, decentralized applications are new, still scary for so many people. The more it looks like Web 2 user experience, the more you have chance to onboard more customers. So don't go that direction too much blockchain, too much decentralized, that vibe. Don't, because it might scare the users. So that's why we have a first tip solution: use familiar design patterns from Web 2 apps. So for instance, setting up your wallet should look like similar to Web 2 experience. Of course, we have differences, but make it similar. Also, when you do your competitive analysis, check Web 2 financial applications. For instance, if you are creating the wallet, for instance, so it doesn't look too much different from those applications. So it looks familiar. When it looks familiar, people feel comfortable using your app. I know how it works. They might think, okay, the more they know how it works, the better for you. And another one important tip: use jargon-less, consistent terminology. The less jargon you use, the better. Yeah, we have so many pro users. They have no issue with the jargon, with the terminology at all. But if we are talking about adoption, if we are talking about onboarding, then the less jargon you use in your app, the better. Okay, so that was about our kind of principles, how to create the decentralized application. And now I can take you to another screen and show you how to create the design system. First of all, why do we need to create design system? Design system help us to minimize the time we are creating our application. It in the long term, it takes some time to create the design system, yes, but in the long term, when you're working on your product, it's become easier and easier to create new features to work on your product, because you just grab those components and use them and create your product as a Lego. So you have all the details already ready. You just need to mix and match them together. That's good for you. And for user, is good because you're creating the consistency across all your products. Imagine you have web application, you have mobile application, you have extension. I don't know, maybe you have application in your watch, so wearable, and using the same design system for all these platforms will create the consistency for users. So he will feel that he doesn't feel any differences when using mobile or web. Imagine like Apple products. Yeah, you are using the MacBook and the interface is very similar to your iPhone. And then you're using your watch. So same, to create this consistency in user experience, we have to have design system. And I have some links I will share with you in the chat. 1 second. You can come to this link, and I will also share my screen in a second. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen now. So we just need to open this file. And what I wanted to do is to show you how to create simple styles and simple components for your first design system. We have here like a practicing file. So first of all, let's talk about the colors. In the Figma, as a reminder from the last workshop, I'm using Figma for the design, for the prototyping, for the brainstorming. So when you are inside the Figma and you open this file or any file, you can create the styles, color styles. And on the right, you will see, for instance, we created this square. And on the right, you will see that we can create the new color style. 1 second. Yeah. You can pick any color, for instance, the red color. Give it a name. And create a style. And I just realized that I guess I'm sharing the wrong screen, guys. 1 second. I will readjust it. Yes. Sorry for that. Cool. One more time. I was talking about how to create the color styles for your design system. You are creating you can create any shape. In this case is the square. When you are pressing here on the right icon, you can create the new style by pressing the plus button. And yeah, for instance, this one, we will create the blue color. Once you pick the color, you just give it a name and you're creating the style. Pressing button, creating the style, and you're done. Also, you can check here the styles that are created for the design system. For instance, you can create 10, 20, depends how many you need color styles, and you will see all of them here. Why it's important? Because while you are designing, you will have so many screens, and you will pick the color for the button, you will pick color for the link, you will pick color for the text, and the more screens you have, the more confusing it becomes which color to use. So when you have it organized as styles, it will help you with that consistency that I was talking about. If you have blue, you have only one blue, or you have like different shades of blue, but you have limited. You have this blue, and this blue, and you are not creating each time another shade of the blue color. Yeah, because imagine if you are creating, then it's going to be messy and visually also will not look good. So also what you can do is to create the headers, or sorry, textiles. And how to do that? Just type any text. Again, press the same icon on the right. Press the plus button. Text. Press the plus button here. Name your text style. For instance, this one is body. And you're creating the style. You can also then change your text style. For instance, you can make this text 24 pixels, but if you are talking about the body, it probably will be 16 or 14. You can choose regular, you can choose the font, you can adjust your text style, and you can create the text styles how many is necessary for your product. Like that. So you can have header 2, header 1, you can have body 1, body 2, and etc. Again, same reason as for the colors. Imagine you are creating the text style for each screen, and then you forgot which text style you used for the text in the previous screen. You created another text style, and then on another text screen for the mobile, you are using another text style for the same body. So you are losing those consistency. That's why it's important to have it all organized and just choose between your styles, not create all over again. Each time you're creating the screen, you are using the new text style. What else here? Here are some examples. So you can work with the text. You can select the font. You can select it can be regular, it can be bold. You can select how many pixels and play around with the alignment, all the stuff related to the text. Also, you can create the components, and how to do that. For instance, you have an icon here. You have some, you created the component, but it's not the component yet because it's blue. That's how to realize that in Figma it's not a component. Yet components are purple. And you have some icon, and you want this icon, like a cursor, to be the main component, but this one you want to be a hover state. For instance, once using your prototype, you need the hover state, you will have this one instead of this. So how to do that? First, you already have some components you can create from scratch, or you can grab some icon. Then on the top here, you have the icon in Figma. Create the component, you are pressing creating the component. And also on the top, you will see the icon will change to add variant. You're pressing this icon, you're adding the variant, and instead of this icon, you're using this icon. So this one will be the default state. On the right, you can check the property, and for this component, we will create the property hover. Okay. And how it will work, we also can prototype these two icons. So when you go to the prototype section here, on the top right, you will see you have design and you have prototype. You can, by these arrows, select this component and make it on click. Yeah, this is hover, all good. And from here, you using the arrow back. And also we have here the options like how it should work on drag, on clip, mouse enter, mouse leave. But right now, actually we need on while hovering. Sorry, we can choose while hovering. Okay, cool. And let me see. Can we share the screen? 1 sec. Should work. No. Okay, I will show you next time. Pages, or this time, actually, no, this time. Some adjustment. These components, they were not inside the file. And now, let's see. Okay, right now you can see that on the hover up, it changed into this icon. Little bit with the strange. It's a live stream. It's okay, but it should work like that. The prototype. Okay. Also, you can create the buttons, and for each button, you can have default state and hover state, and other states, state on the click, and so many. And I will show you another example. Let me grab that link. How the design system, once it's done, can look like. Okay. And I will share the link with you guys. Oop. Okay, now you can see it. So this one is a material design system. So when it's done, the design system can look kind of like that. So you have the section for the buttons. You can have different design for your buttons. It can be field buttons, can be secondary buttons like outline, can be text buttons, which you can use for the links. Also, if you have light mode and dark mode, you may create the components for the light mode and dark mode as well. You can create different components like cards, like this. So it's a huge work. I just show you like little bit how to do that, but definitely worth to explore the Figma and see how it works. Also for the hackathon, you have, guys, limited time. So in the community, here, let me show you. In the community, you can put design system, and you can use some already ready design system for use for your product, because you will create the prototype. You have to move faster. So here, lots of options to select from. I would say like creating the design system from scratch for hackathon, it's mission almost impossible. So use those community. It's super helpful and will help you to move faster for your project. Okay. Also, yeah, so there are so many components like chips, like date pickers, the dialog for your product, dividers, buttons, icon buttons, list, and see how well it is organized, and it can be organized as well for your product. So imagine you have such a design system. When you need to create a new feature, it will take much less time for you for development, for designing this feature, because you have already all the components almost, and plus it will help your product to look consistent across all the devices for your customers. Also, the studies shows that when users see the consistency in the user interface, they feel safe and secure. So it kind of like translating the security for your customers, which is super important for decentralized applications. Okay. Then let's talk about prototyping. For the prototyping, also I will share you another link here in the chat and will go there myself. I will show you the simple prototyping, what you can do. Like, for instance, how to create this interaction. You have simple web 2 application, and you just wanna create this interaction with your prototype on the click. How to do that in Figma is actually very simple. So you have the screen and you go to the prototyping mode. On the top right, you click on the prototype, you select the component from that you want your user to click and get interaction. And from this component, you just put this line to this screen, to the next screen. That's how simple it is. Moving to the name of the screen that you want to move to. The animation, let's do smart animate. And everything else, you just leave it like that. Ease out, 300, it's okay. And from here, from this component, you create the arrow back to the screen. And same, you're navigating to, and you need to select the name of the screen where you're navigating. Same, you're using smart animate, ease out, 300, okay, let's leave it like that. And let's check what we've done. And how to check, you just need to select the screen that you wanna open and press the button on the top right, present. When you press that button, it will show you another screen. And by clicking, yay, we have this navigation animation. So, and even you are not creating the scrolling, it calls the smart animate, very useful for Figma and save you lots of time for the prototyping. Plus, for instance, if you want this icon to change the color once you like this song, then we can actually prototype the component. I will show you, like, you need to grab this icon first. We have it here. We need to create a component as I showed you before. So on the top, you will see the create component. You press create component and you can see that the borders changed. Now it's purple. It means we have a component. Plus, we need to create the variant because we have two states for this component. One is default, and second state is the pressed state when the user click on the icon. And we just can change the color. In this case, let's change the color for the icon. So once it's pressed, it will change the color. It can be filled as well, but for right now, that's fine. It's just for example. Then you are going on the top right to the prototyping section where my cursor is. You press on the prototype and you just grab this arrow and navigate into the our red heart and back also. And we need to make sure that we have this animation on click right here. So now it's on click because it can be on drag, on the hovering. It should be on click in this case. And then also once we click on the red heart, we kind of unlike the song. So on click, it will change to white one. Let's see how it works. Let's grab the icon and change it. And open the prototype. Again, using our present button. On click, see it changing the color. So like that simple. And notice that you don't have to create another separate screen to do that. So you don't have to create the screen with the red heart and then navigate between and then create the arrow between the screens. You don't have to do that. When you're creating these icons, you can actually prototype icons, not the screen. That's how you will have much less screens when you are creating. And yeah, the prototype icons just will work themselves. So we have these two simple interactions, the heart and another one on the scroll is kind of like scrolling, and we are showing the lyrics to user. Okay. Also, I didn't mention, but why do we need prototyping? Prototyping we need for different use cases. First of all, we can validate our ideas with customers. So we can create the prototype and conduct user interviews and see how users using our application. Is it comfortable for them? Is it easy to use? Maybe during the prototype stage, you will find that they are stuck at some point. So we are creating the prototype before we are jumping into development, before we are wasting our time for development and money for development. So we can actually validate our ideas at this stage, at this point. If something doesn't work, and we see that user is confused by using our prototype, it's much easier to change the design rather than go back and then change the code. So another use case, for instance, you can communicate with your stakeholders. So because maybe you're not alone working on the product, you have different stakeholders that working on the product to be aligned, like what we are doing and how it will look like when it's live. It's important to have the prototype for the communication purposes. Plus, maybe you wanna get investors for your product. Also, you need to do the prototype to show investors how it might look like, the product, what problem does it solve, and how easy it is to you to impress those investors. That's cool to have the prototype. So at least 3 main use cases why we need to do that. And let's talk about usability testing. Also, as I mentioned, before jumping to development, it's crucial to validate your ideas with potential customers. Because imagine that you're developing something that nobody wants to use. That's a very big risk. Or imagine you just want to validate your idea and you want to see if people at least they have this problem or no. That's why we have the prototypes. That's why we conduct usability testing. So yeah, during the usability test, you will learn whether a design is easy to use, because you will see how people are interacting with your UI and UX, and what makes design easy or difficult. You will see the points that can be improved. You will see that, oh, this copyright is confusing, or maybe this button is not obvious. All these small things you will notice during the usability testing. So how to prepare and how to do the usability testing? First of all, you need to set up the goals, like what do we want to achieve with the usability testing? Second, to create a hypothesis that you want to validate, because if you don't create the goals and you don't write the hypothesis, don't plan this usability testing, you will have very general results. Yeah, you show the prototype to customers, but you didn't create that focus area, what you actually want to learn. Maybe you want to learn is it like useful feature or not? Is it easy for users to swap those tokens? Is it obvious that button on the screen? So you have to be very specific with your hypothesis. Create the questions for the user interviews also before usability testing. What based on the hypothesis? Okay, I want to validate this hypothesis and this hypothesis, so I'm creating the questions for those. Then you need to prepare your prototype, that everything ready and everything clickable, at least for your flows that you want to validate. And yeah, then conduct user interviews. So for the usability testing, one of the best tool is the rainbow spreadsheet. And I will tell you why it's called the rainbow, because it's truly the spreadsheet. You will see it on the screen. It's truly rainbow because we are using different colors, but how it actually works. When you are preparing them for your usability testing, on the left, you need to write your observations/hypothesis, what you want to validate. For instance, users know how to transfer their tokens. Users know how to switch the networks. Users understand how to open their account. Users understand how to recover their wallet, and so on. So all these sentences, each is like a separate hypothesis, and you have to make a list on the left, like your assumptions that you are sure that users are going that direction to achieve those goals. That's your assumption, that you think how users will behave. On the right, you see all these colors. And basically, one color is one user, participants. P means participants. And in this case, you have 12. You can have 5, you can have 10. So each of them have the color. And at the end, once you conducted usability testing, you will see that, for instance, you have the hypothesis users understand how to transfer tokens. And on the right, on the example, how it looks at the end, you will see that participant 1 and 2 and 3 understood. When you put the color in front of the hypothesis, it means confirmed, yes. But everyone else didn't get it, because when you are not confirming your hypothesis and actually it doesn't work, they didn't get it, they were stuck, they didn't understand, you just don't use the color, you leave it empty. And if you do it for each hypothesis and for each participant with the same logic, you will see visually that some of the hypotheses you really confirmed, like for instance this one, because majority of users understood your feature or went to the flow how you expected. They behaved how you expected them to behave. But some of the hypotheses, they didn't get, they were stuck. It's obviously empty. And you will see that maybe you can work on this hypothesis. Maybe you can create another idea. Maybe you can improve UX. Maybe you can improve copyright. So because, yeah, but you definitely can iterate. So you will see that. And plus, it saves you, this tool saves you time, because you don't have to create the different documents for your usability testing. You just create one spreadsheet. When you're preparing for the usability testing, you're creating your assumptions on the left. While you're conducting usability testing or after, when you're rewatching them, you just put the colors here, yes, no, confirmed, not confirmed. And at the end, you can share the spreadsheet with your stakeholders. Like, for instance, you have a team and you share with them, and it's going to be obvious, visually obvious for them, which assumptions are confirmed and which are not. Yep, cool. Also, let me share another link with you. There is an article, very useful article about this rainbow spreadsheet. Here it is. And you can see them. They have even a template inside this article, so you can use those templates. You don't need to create the spreadsheet from scratch. And plus, you can read more about how to prepare for the usability test and how to use it. And plus, inside that article, you will see real documents, so you just can copy and paste. Cool. Let's open this link and I will share my screen. One sec. Present. Yep. You can see my screen. So this article I'm talking about, you will see all the information. And yeah, I saw this spreadsheet here. Let me check if you can see my screen now. Nope, you don't. One sec. Now you will see. And I can little bit zoom out. I saw the comment. zoom in. So that's how it looks. The spreadsheet. And plus, I will grab this link and share in the chat as well here. That's the template. So you can all use it. No need to create from scratch. Okay, let's go back to the slides. Cool. Now I wanted to talk about the user interviews tips, because usability testing is cool, yes, but also while we are doing usability testing, we are kind of conducting user interviews. It's not separate. You are talking with humans, you are talking with people, and there are some tips how to start, how to finish, what to say in the middle, how to conduct user interviews / usability testing to get more results, to get the truth from the people, because people during the usability testing, during the user interviews, they want to be nice with us. They want to make us feel better also. Also, they might feel that when we are asking them questions, they are on some kind of exam. So they want to come up with the best answer, the right answer. So how to make them relax and plus get the most out of your user interviews. That's what I wanted to talk about now. And the first tip is to spend first 5 minutes creating a friendly atmosphere. It's like, sounds very obvious, but sometimes people just going straight to the point, okay, sharing their screen and asking people to do stuff using their prototype. That's not right. First, at least 5 minutes, ask people about themselves. People love to talk about themselves. Simple question, tell me more about yourself, anything. Just open that conversation. So to make them feel comfortable, to make yourself feel comfortable, and yeah, to create that rapport. That's very important at the beginning of the interview. Don't jump straight to the prototype. Plus, tell the participant that there are no right or wrong answers. Kind of maybe obvious for you. You might think that, of course, there are no right or wrong answers, but usually how people think, they want to come up with the best answer possible because they feel when you're asking them, they're kind of on the exam. So that's why it's very important to clearly communicate. hey, we just want to hear your opinion, and your opinion is super important for us. Doesn't matter what you say, it's super insightful for us. So you have to like clearly communicate this point. So there is no right or wrong answers. We just want to hear from you. Your point of view is always right. Another tip will be to ask if it's okay to record user interview, because it's super important for you to record the user interview, because you can watch it and rewatch it again and again, because when you're talking with the customers, maybe you didn't get some points, maybe you missed some insights, just like in the conversation you were maybe taking the notes, you missed that. So it's highly recommended to record all your usability testing, record all your user interviews and have them and transcribe them, write the notes, the insights. But before that, ask people, because for the legal reasons, and so they feel comfortable, not suddenly record that screen. It's like easy to forget this step, but don't forget it. It's very important to ask them if it's okay, because some people will not like it. I got it was several people that said no, I'm not allowed, and of course it's totally fine. It's privacy. Another important tip: ask open-ended questions. So there are two types of questions. There are open-ended questions and there are closed-ended closed questions. So open-ended questions is tell me about yourself. That's question. There is no way you can answer yes or no. You have to talk. So you have to tell, I'm Anna, I'm working as a product designer here, and I don't know, I love dogs, and anything. So it makes user to talk. Closed question means like, do you like it? You can answer yes or no. Like, I don't know, was it complicated? Yes. And try to avoid these closed questions, because they block you. As an interviewer, what can I do? You ask the question, your participant said yes, you have this awkward pause, and you didn't get much insights, you didn't get anything from that actually. So the more you ask open-ended questions, the better, because you can ask, how did you feel when you were using this app? Or tell me about the last time you did a transaction. So it encourage them to tell you the story, and the more they talk, the more you have the opportunities to ask follow-up questions. That's going to be another tip. So you will have much more opportunities to grab something interesting and ask like more why question, like why it's important for you, why did you mention that, like that. So try to avoid closed questions. Another tip, actually that's a really cool tip that works every time I'm conducting user interviews. Very simple but very useful. Repeat the last exact words that participant said and pause. So participants saying, answering your open-ended questions. Yeah, I was doing the transaction. I sent Bitcoin to this address, and then I went to Etherscan to check the history of this transaction. And then he's stopping, but you want to dig deeper, like what else were happening at the same time. You need more insights about the situation. You want to see if it was something confusing during that process. So you are repeating the last maybe sentence, and you're saying like, so you went to the Etherscan to check the history, and then you pause, you don't say anything. And you create this awkward pause where your participant will feel like he needs to fill that pause. it always worked that way because people don't like usually this awkward pause. They want to feel it, they want to talk, and they feel like they need to explain their flow, that it wasn't obvious. And when they're explaining, so they are going deeper, then you will have like more insights in the explanation. So they can start very cute, that everything's working, everything's fine, but then while they're explaining, you might find that insight, oh, actually, that was confusing, and I was thinking, what does it mean, like on the screen, something like that. So just repeat the last words, pause, and don't fill this gap yourself. Yeah, it's awkward, and at the beginning maybe it's hard to do, so you will feel like you have to talk because nobody talks and everyone just looking at each other. But believe me, 99.9% users will start talking, and most importantly, they will explain their actions. That's what you're looking for as an interviewer. And at the end of each interview, ask if there are anything else you wanna share with us or with me. Important question, because you might prepare the questions for your interview or tasks for your usability testing, but you don't know what they know, and maybe you didn't think about some features that maybe your users thinking about. Maybe you didn't think about some problems that your users have. This is just the very open-ended questions to start the conversation about some important topics for your customer, and leave for this question at least 5 minutes at the end of your interview, at least 5, so user can mention, for instance, oh yeah, but I was thinking it would be cool to have this feature. They might tell about the feature or about the issue that they're having using your app or another app or anything else. This question is actually very powerful, and so many insights I got exactly from the end, from these questions. Plus, it's the end of the interview. Usually people feel comfortable already talking with you because it takes time. So they feel this trust and they start sharing more information. That's what you're looking for. So yeah, don't forget to ask if there anything else you want to share with us. Okay, the bookshelf, I prepared for you guys the list of the books. Let me grab, I have another link. I have links today. I'll stop sharing, open the link, and then share it with you. So I prepared the list of the books that about the design, about UX, UI, research, marketing. You can see a list right now. You can switch between, it's in Notion. You can switch between the like tags, the topics about the leadership, about the product growth, marketing, about the business strategy, about just the product design, and also the mom test, that book that I highly recommend. I was talking about the mom test during our first workshop. One of the best books actually about usability testing, about user interviews, how to conduct user interviews, and very easy to read, and it's very small book. I can say you can finish it in one day. So everything that you need, I'm passionate about startups and everything related to them. So that's why I created this bookshelf. Hopefully it's going to be useful for you guys for creating the product. So I will share the link here in the chat. Here. Cool. And we are coming back to our presentation. I'm switching between screens. Okay. I share the bookshelf. Also, if you want to learn more about the product design, blockchain, startups, I have a YouTube channel, so you can check it out. The videos I'm posting there about conducting usability testing, interviews, design, startups, and especially focusing on the Web3 space. And do you have any questions?
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Anna. That was pretty good. And I'll just go through some of the questions
Yep.
we have here.
I missed some of them.
Okay, so we have Figma can be converted right to Webflow, if I'm not mistaken, if we were designing a landing page or something.
Yeah, there are ways to connect Figma to the Webflow. There is a even plugin. You need to install it into the Figma, but it will convert your design to the Webflow. But what I would recommend, at least I saw it myself, that there is a better to install the plugin first and then design using that plugin. So because you might design something in Figma that you have to readjust for the Webflow, it will not quite work. So better install plugin first and then design in Figma using that plugin and then go to the Webflow, and it should work. Yes.
Thank you. We have one more. So how do you suggest we get started as an achievable 1 week sprint? What's the MVP?
MVP for the design, I assume 1 week sprint for the design. So yeah, for the hackathon, that's like I was talking about product design process. I understand for the hackathon is quite a lot. Still, before you start and work on any product, you need to create the kind of simple document, we call it problem statement, to describe what problem you're solving. That's first thing anyway you have to do, either for 1 week sprint or for 30-week sprints. I'm kidding, 30-week sprints. But anyway, describe the problem you're solving, describe the goals for your product. Then check out our previous workshop. I was talking about the user flow. It's crucial to create the user flow and see how your user will go from one screen to another. And plus, it will give you understanding what screens you have to develop, actually to code and to design. So I would say the problem statement you're creating the user flow, how your users will navigate. And during this user flow, you can just simplify this user flow. Basically, you can see that, oh, to achieve this goal, you will see it, I have five screens, which can be minimized to 2. So that's a good exercise to simplify user experience. After you created the user flow, you can jump into what I would say, you can jump into design. You can skip the wireframing process because wireframing, sketching takes time. At least what I would suggest, sketch your ideas on the just piece of paper. It's super easy, no need to wireframe using the Figma because it's just taking your time. Sketch your ideas on the paper, because when you're sketching ideas on the paper, your brain works differently. You will notice you think more creative, because when you are jumping right to the high fidelity design inside the Figma, you are thinking about functionality of Figma. You will think about how to create those components. You will see those tutorials in YouTube. So that's like another thing. But when you actually want to create the cool idea for your app, I always suggest sketch on the paper. After you sketch on the paper, you are creating the design. Again, it's an MVP. MVP means you don't have to create all the product, so you create just minimum valuable screens in Figma, so it shouldn't be that much. Then you quickly prototype them. So on the same page where you're creating the design, you can create those, you can put those arrows, which I was talking about, same file, no need to create the separate file. You quickly the prototype, and then, and during actually the stage of designing and during stage of prototyping, you are texting all your friends. You're texting all your friends and asking for their help because you want to validate your idea. You want to validate if it's easy to use. Of course, it's during 1 week. I'm not saying that you can recruit random people that you don't know. Maybe if you have some strong community, maybe in Twitter, you can do, if you are active in Twitter, you can post maybe, hey, I'm working on the project for hackathon. If anyone can help me, like that's good. You can find people, but you can do it in parallel while you are designing. You are chatting with those people. At least I know you have one week. Three people you can talk to. With each person, you can talk for half an hour max. So you will have 1.5 hour talking with your maybe potential customers, but you will have the sense of if your design is actually works, if you achieve your goal, if you're solving that problem, if it's easy to use, if people understand how it works. And yeah, after you get the feedback from these people, from this maybe 3 person, you can rearrange a little bit design, you can readjust, maybe you can reduce some screens or maybe add some screens or maybe change the copyright. Sometimes the problem is in the copyright, not in the actual like UI. So yeah, that's the process. 1 week process. Actually, for the 1 week process, there is a another. If you are curious, there is a book called Sprint. Check it out. They're exactly talking about 1 week sprint, how to do it super fast with the team, like with the development inside, with the designers inside, product managers, anyone, and how you do it in 1 week. So check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, and we have one last question. Is light mode a waste of time in most cases? Should UI always be dark mode?
Wow. Okay, that's a good question. Funny one. You know, people are divided on 2 categories. One half prefer light mode, one half prefer dark mode. And like UX point of view, user experience point of view, reading the text is easier when it's on the white background. So you have white background and you have black text. That's like still it's common rule. I know, but we are talking like that's why all the books, we don't have a books with the black papers inside. That's like the rule. It's really easier to read, but no, it's not waste of time. The ideal situation when you have 2 modes, because you can cover 2 types of users, because it's really half-half. Yes, in our space, people, because we have so many developers using our applications, and developers commonly, they prefer the dark mode. That's true. But if you are talking about like newbies, if you wanna onboard more like new customers that are new to the space, there we will have more like people that prefer light mode, actually, because they are coming from the web 2 world, and in the web 2 world you have dark mode, light mode. So better to be flexible, and if you have 2 modes, the more chances you have to onboard more customers. So yeah, it's not waste of time.
I'm a light mode myself.
See, yeah, I'm a dark mode, but we have to we have to understand both types of users.
Well, I'm not seeing any more questions in the chat. last opportunity. If you have a question for Anna before she goes, I'm just going to give 1 minute to see if anything pops up.
Oh, sorry for my sound. It's a calendar. Sorry.
Okay. I think we're good. Thank you so much, Anna, for being with us this week. This was super helpful. I believe so many hackers here will definitely take all of the knowledge you shared with them and apply them on their projects. Oh, and I spoke too soon. So we have, sorry. What's an MVP for design system?
Good question. MVP for the design system. MVP for the design system will be at least create the styles. So as you remember, I was talking about the colors and I was talking about the textiles. That's like our point where we start create any design system, because you see on your interface what you see the most. You see the buttons they use in the colors or the text using the colors, and you see the font and the size of the font, you see the text. So make sure that your text is consistent across all your products, and your colors are consistent across all your products. It will already create those consistency, because you cannot start to create everything, but then I would say maybe play with the alignment, play with the paddings. For instance, paddings is the space. If you are creating the mobile app, you have padding 16 on the left and on the right, so it's not jumping. Make those rules. It's not jumping from screen to screen. So one screen is 24, one screen is 26, one screen is 14. Don't do that. So play with these rules. That will be number 3. Then you can go to the navigation, but then I can talk a lot about what should you do. Colors, fonts, the typography, and the spaces, the like alignment, the paddings, so it's consistent. It looks already nicer.
Awesome. Well, then we'll close it now. Very good. I saw one question asking if there's more design workshops. So unfortunately, Anna was with us only this week, but this went so well. I think we'll definitely consider in future hackathons to do a small boot camp, maybe a couple more days if Anna wants to join us again. But this was super helpful. And yeah, thank you so much, Anna. We are so excited to see what everyone is building and seeing all of your cool UX, UI designs on your projects. We'll definitely show Anna as well the projects, and she would see things.
And I wish you luck. Yeah. Have fun creating your project.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll catch you up later. We have a workshop with Optimism around 6 p.m. Eastern time. So see you there, and hope you guys have the rest of a wonderful day and keep hacking. And yeah, good luck. And thanks again, Anna. Bye, everyone.
Bye.